understanding why businesses fail, and the 3 steps to long-term business success. Hi, my name is DL Rogers, and I'm the founder of RMCstrategies.com. Our goal at RMCstrategies.com is to provide you with valuable information and insight into the workings of business enterprises. Generally speaking, the fundamentals of how business works applies to all organizations regardless of size and industry. The fundamentals are also the same for a for-profit and nonprofit organization. This introductory video is to give you a window into what is available on the RMCstrategies.com website for you to enjoy and to learn and to make yourself more successful. I want to start our conversation on understanding why businesses fail with what I call the first fact for any organization, and that is that the success or failure is the responsibility of the people running the organization. Again, regardless of size or industry. I was a corporate lender on Wall Street for over 17 years before moving into management. Every quarter, a review of all the loans in our portfolio that were considered to be of higher risk were reviewed, and there was a forecast done of those that we thought might be charged off. At the time these loans were booked, they were considered to be good quality loans, and most of them were for traditional financings like working capital and to purchase plant and equipment. Now, during these portfolio reviews, the committee would assign a principal reason for the borrower's underperformance or potential loss. And we called these reasons the causal factor, the reason that we thought was the primary reason that the company was underperforming or we were looking at potentially losing money. And you know what we discovered in these reviews? That overwhelmingly, the principal reason businesses were underperforming and failing was the decisions made by management. A review of business performance by the Small Business Administration, SBA, and done in Bradstreet indicates that for small businesses and startups, well over 80% of business failures can be attributed to management. But my assessment is that it doesn't matter whether or not you are a new business, a small business, or a mature, well-established business, the issue remains the same. So what exactly do I mean when I say management caused the poor performance or failure? I mean, there's a bunch of other reasons that we can consider, right? Poor economic conditions, intense competition, difficulty finding quality employees. There's all sorts of reasons that we can come up with where you can say, well, that can be a reason for the failure. But my answer to that question is that all organizations are confronted with significant challenges, but should they cause failure? These are the sorts of things that are typical for any business. And as a manager, you have to be prepared to deal with the changing environment because nothing remains the same. And so this brings me to one of my favorite quotes, which is, if you don't like change, you'll like irrelevance even less. I want you to think about when you started your organization or when you joined the company that you currently work for. I am sure you believe that you would be able to deliver products and services to your target customers better than anyone else. Your business sought to change the competitive landscape for companies in that marketplace. And so your competitors were going to have to adjust to the challenges that you were bringing to the marketplace, or they would suffer a decline in their business. Isn't it reasonable to assume that there are people out there right now competing to get your customer? And if you don't think that someone is considering this, you need to change your way of thinking immediately. A healthy sense of paranoia is a good thing in business. It is time that you begin anticipating and planning what may come. So here's my question. How much planning do you do? And once you have a plan, are you prepared to execute on that plan to remain competitive? Your ongoing business success is tied to how well your organization does 3 things, and this is what I call the 3 steps to long-term business success. And these 3 things are: you need to anticipate business opportunities and challenges. You need to develop plans to address the identified opportunities and challenges, and then you have to execute on those plans to drive success. Those companies that have been around for a long time do all 3 of these things very well. So how can you be sure your business is on top of what is happening in the marketplace and reacting properly? There's a critical concept that you need to embrace, and that is that you need to develop a culture within your organization of a commitment to continuous improvement. A commitment to continuous improvement causes you and your staff to always ask, how are we doing? What can we do better? And who in the marketplace may be doing it better than we are? There is no magic bullet that will assure your success, but rmcstrategies.com provides key resources to help you proactively manage your business. There is no substitute for embracing the one true reality, and that is change. You cannot fight it. The only question is, how well do you manage through change? Now let's take a few minutes to look at the 3 key things you need to do well to remain successful in business over the long term. The first one, as I said, is to anticipate business opportunities and challenges. Rarely are the issues that confront your business a complete surprise. The signs were there. The risk or the opportunity was known. It just did not get the proper attention. And I want to look at 3 real-life examples of companies that are no longer tops in their industries as a means of making my point. The first one is General Motors, former number 1, Toyota, the new number 1, Sears, the former largest retailer in the world. Today, that's Walmart. And then finally, Microsoft, which was the top technology company. And today, Apple and Google are the dominant players in the key growth areas of technology. Now, in all of these examples, the new number 1 player was a long-term competitor of the former number 1 player. In other words, they didn't come out of nowhere and suddenly beat the pants off of them. In each case, the former number 1 player was larger and had greater financial resources, yet they failed to beat away the competition. And in each instance, they lost their market dominance because management failed to act or act quickly enough to what the changes were in the marketplace. I would actually argue that the prior number 1 saw the trend well in advance and just ignored it. Market leaders can become complacent because of their success. They believe what is true today, even though history tells us differently, will still be true tomorrow. This is true of all businesses. Owners and executives become satisfied with what they have accomplished and lose their drive or motivation to innovate and drive change. So the second step in the 3 steps to long-term business success is to develop written plans to address the opportunities and challenges. Planning is a critical element of winning in the competitive marketplace. Put plainly, if you do not have a written plan, your chances of long-term success have been greatly reduced. And I want to emphasize I'm talking about long-term success. Some key benefits to planning are you've placed a stake in the ground in terms of what it is you want to do. You have made it easier to communicate to others and get their feedback and insight into the plans, and you now have a document to compare your actual results to what you said it is that you wanted to do. Finally, number 3 in the steps to long-term business success is to execute on the plan to drive the required change. And I underline execute, and I'm going to say again, execute, execute, execute. True success comes to those companies that learn how to follow through on plans. Execution is simple to explain, but has proven to be difficult for many to consistently do. And the more people or groups involved in the process of successful execution, the greater the need to coordinate those activities. Our principal focus at rmcstrategies.com is on execution, because this is the real playing field of your business. This is where we keep score. This is where great plans are realized and poor planning is exposed. So how are you doing relative to the 3 keys to long-term success? Are you happy with your ability to see future opportunities and challenges? Have you been planning? Is your organization good at delivering the customer what they want? Have you created a culture where continuous improvement is the norm? If not, come and check out what we have at rmcstrategies.com. We provide executive coaching, consulting services, web-based training, and relevant information. We deliver all of this to help you become more successful in your business. Understanding why businesses fail. I look forward to hearing from you at the RMC Strategies website. There are some other relevant videos there that you can watch, and we look forward to hearing from you. Again, this is D.L. Rogers. All the best in your business success.